National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today, from Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. Brought to you by Jeep Cherokee. There's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep. By Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Manville. 21,000 people with one goal, to be America's very best supplier.
In New England, this is fall foliage weekend. They take to the road by the thousands to look at the changing leaves. Although today, the weather may dim the view just a bit. And for those who have come in the rain to Foxborough to watch the Bills and Patriots today, they will be looking at two changing teams. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to a chilly and damp Foxborough. Len Berman along with Reggie Rucker. As you saw in NFL 85, Joe Cribbs is here, but he will not dress. But Hank Bulla and the 0-5 Buffalo Bills have made several lineup changes.
As a matter of fact, the changes started a week ago when Ralph Wilson, the Buffalo Bills owner, fired Kay Stevenson and hired Hank Bulla. It didn't work in Indianapolis. They were beaten 49-17. So Bulla has made some changes in personnel. Starting at defensive end will be Bruce Smith, the rookie #1 draft choice. An outstanding pass rusher is now playing the run better. Also getting a start today, cornerback Derek Burrows, another #1 draft choice who's been out with an ankle injury. He is an excellent man-to-man defender. And also, for you fans in Buffalo, you'll remember Joe D. He gets a start today.
6 changes in all. And Raymond Berry for the Patriots admits, yes, our offense has been a bit too conservative. He hopes to shake things up today as well.
Yeah, it's unusual for a Hall of Fame pass catcher like Raymond Berry to be conservative. He's throwing the football with Tony Eason deep today, at least 4 or 5 times.
When these teams met 3 weeks ago, the Patriots won 17-14. It was the closest game for the Bills. This was the big play, Irving Fryer's punt return touchdown.
Fryer, the electrifying player from Nebraska, can break the game open on one play. Every time he touches the football, he can take it all the way.
The Buffalo Bills have won the toss, and they hope to provide Hank Bulla, who coached here in New England as an assistant for 7 years, with his first coaching victory. Bills 0-5, 11 straight road losses. Tony Franklin will kick it off barefooted in the rain. Eric Richardson, Donald Wilson are back for the Bills. The crowd a bit on the slim side, but they are noisy, and we are underway. Franklin is not a deep kicker. Therefore, Wilson takes it at the 4. To the 25, across the 30, and stumbles to the 36, and that's where the Bills offense will start out this afternoon. Ed Williams on the tackle. Vince Ferragamo, rated as the last quarterback in the AFC, gets the start. He had a tough game last week. Greg Bell, the running back, Jerry Butler and the rookie, Andre Reed, the wide receivers, the 2 tight ends, Pete Metzelaars and Eason Ramson. The offensive line, for the first time in 5 years, Will Grant will not snap at center. Tim Vogler's the man. Richer and Delamalure the guards. Ken Jones and Joe Devlin are the tackles. There was an offside called on the play. It was refused by the Bills. They will start at the 36. And as we start the game, temperature in the 40s. I think the rain is held off for the moment. That's Ramson in motion. The give is to Bell, who gets ahead to the 39. Pickup of 3 before he's greeted by Toby Williams, the right end for the Patriots.
If you talk about keys to the game for the Buffalo Bills, it has to be controlling the football, running the football on first down, and picking up 4 yards or more on first down. That's very important.
And controlling the time of possession. Obviously, the Bills' last rated rushing team in the league. They'd like to hold on to the ball. 3 tight ends in there now. That's one of them, Ramson in motion. It's Bell again. Nothing. Middle of the Patriots linebacking core, spearheaded by All-Pro Steve Nelson, helped by Larry McGrew. And there's Andre Tippett. So the front 3, Kenneth Sims is coming on a bit now. Remember, he was a top pick a few years ago and struggled. Dennis Owens, Toby Williams, the front 3. Good Patriots linebackers. Tippett and All-Pro, Steve Nelson, McGrew and Blackman. And the defensive backs, they like to throw at Ronnie Lippett. They like to keep it away from Raymond Claiborne on the right side. And the safeties are Roland James and Fred Marion. A 3rd and 7 at the 39. From the shotgun for Ferragamo. His first pass. Throwing to this side, Rod McSwain had it but couldn't hold on for the Patriots. And that was nearly a sure interception, but immediately for the 0-5 Buffalo Bills, it's 3 plays and punt for Vince Ferragamo and company.
Watch it here. This is Jerry Butler, the speedster from Clemson, running the deep pattern, but the ball is underthrown so much so that Rod McSwain had an excellent opportunity to catch that ball and return it down the sidelines.
That's John Kidd. Averages about 42 yards a punt. Second-year man from Northwestern. Had a good day here last year. And Irving Fryer, the man who did it 3 weeks ago, will try again. But it's a short punt. There will be no return. And it goes out of bounds at about the 30s. So the Patriots on offense will start out in decent shape after the short punt from John Kidd. 31 yards on that boot. Patriots offense. Tony Eason not having a good year either. He has 9 interceptions, ranked just ahead of Vince Ferragamo. Tony Collins and Mosi Tatupu start, but we'll see a lot of Craig James and Robert Weathers, Morgan and Fryer, speedy receivers, Lynn Dawson, the tight end. First down for the Patriots, the 32. Good linemen in Holloway and Hanna on the left side. Passing on first down to Tony Collins, holds on and heads up to about the 35, which would be a pickup of 3. So Eason throwing on first down.
Tony Eason wants to throw the ball on first down a lot. They have outstanding wide receivers who have great speed, and they want to attack the Buffalo secondary deep.
Eason had 8 interceptions all of last year, Reggie. Already he has thrown 9. The Patriots offense has really struggled. 2nd and 7 at the 35. Eason throwing on second down. This one he was wide open, and Stanley Morgan could not hold on, and that's unusual for him.
Stanley Morgan has done so much work during the offseason to help improve those hands of his so that he can make the catches. Many people say that coming over the middle, the New England Patriot receivers have a problem. Now why? That's because that's where the big hits are made, and you think more about getting hit than catching the football.
That was an out-and-out drop for All-Pro Stanley Morgan. 3rd and 7 now for New England, 35. Passing on all 3 downs now. Tony Collins out of the backfield. Across the 45, loses the ball after gaining a first down, and Buffalo has recovered. Rodney Bellinger runs out with the ball, second-year player from Miami. Martin Bayless made the hit on Tony Collins after he had made the first down, and the first turnover goes to the Bills.
This has been a problem for both football teams. Collins here picks up the first down, but gets hit very good from both sides, lets the ball go.
When we come back, Buffalo will be starting at the Patriots 44.
This is the takeaway giveaway story for both football teams. -8 for the Bills, -6 for the Patriots. I call that red numbers, and whenever you're in red numbers, you're going to have a difficult time winning football games.
So add 1 now for the Patriots and take away 1 from the Bills. On the left, Raymond Berry. On the right, Hank Bulla. They were assistant coaches together here in New England in '78. First down, 44. Straight ahead, Bell gets inside the 40 to the 38. And Fred Marion, one of the top tacklers on the Patriots club, catches up with him.
Now, when Buffalo runs the ball on first down and they pick up 4 yards or more, they take all of the pressure off of Vince Ferragamo. Now his play calling and his selection process is a lot easier because he can dictate to the defense as opposed to the defense dictating to him.
Now the ball in the 38, a 2nd and 3, and 3 tight ends come in for Vince Ferragamo once again. And now the rain, as you see behind Vince, is starting to come down again. And a flag.
What was it, 30-second clock?
False start, 68 offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Gene Barth makes the call, and the rest of his crew here in Foxborough this afternoon.
Had an interesting conversation with Gene Barth a couple of weeks ago. We were on the same flight and learned a lot about the business of officiating. He's one of the best.
It's an interesting business. These
Yes.
fellows all have different jobs, different walks of life, and they come here as a crew on a Sunday, and very interesting, their areas of responsibility.
They get more heat than Ronald Reagan.
Sometimes. Ramson in motion on a 2nd and 8. The pitch back to Bell. And there is Kenneth Sims throwing him for the loss at midfield. And look at the emotion from Tippett. So how it turned around just now for Buffalo. They had a 2nd and 3, a quick penalty, a quick loss, and zip, they've lost 12 yards and they march backwards to midfield.
And this is the situation that Hank Bulla desperately wanted to stay out of. The New England Patriots will play the nickel or the 6-back defense, and they will double cover most of the Buffalo Bills receivers. And many times in this situation, Lenny, he's forced to throw it to a back.
Remember, a new center, Vogler, is snapping out of the shotgun on a 3rd and 14 from the 48. Might have had a jump on the Patriots side. Ferragamo under pressure, unloads it, intercepted by Roland James of New England. James on the far side to midfield. Roland James hurdles alignment. And out of bounds. Garin Veras pushes him out. A 39-yard return off yet another interception of Vince Ferragamo for Roland James.
The Buffalo Bills have a 33% conversion ratio on 3rd down. That's not good enough to win. You'd have to be up around 55-60%. Poor pass by Vince Ferragamo. It's wobbly. He doesn't wait for the receiver to break out of the pattern. And if you're going to play football that way, you're going to have a long afternoon.
1st and 10 for New England at the 41. Now Craig James in the lineup, fights ahead to the 38 for a pickup of 3. That is not a fumble. Whistle dead. Gang tackled in there. Eugene Marv, the man in the middle for Buffalo.
Eugene Marv, number 54, and
we'll keep our eye on Bruce Smith, the rookie, at right end, teaming with Smerlis and Ben Williams. Linebacking core, Frazier moves to the other side. Lucius Sanford off injured reserve gets the start at one outside linebacker with Marvin Haslett in the middle. Defensive backs, the rookie Burrows, see if they go to him instead of Romes on the other side. 2nd and 7. Again, it's James. And James gets a 1st down inside the 30 before Romes catches up with him. How about all that controversy this week for New England? Who would be the starting running backs? First he named 2 guys, James. And he said Collins would come back to start. The players nor the fans knew whom the starting running backs were this week.
it reminded me of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello's who's on first. I don't think anybody knew.
Well, now you know what the starting lineups mean. We introduced earlier to Tupu and Collins, and all of a sudden now Craig James is in, and we'll see Robert Weathers. And so it switches around as the Patriots now have a 1st down at the Buffalo 28.
Watch Stanley Morgan against Burrows on the right. Well, we're not going to watch anything.
And a timeout is taken by Eason as he heads over towards Raymond Berry to discuss things. You see Steve Grogan, the backup number 14, discussing things as well. So we've had 2 turnovers. We've played 3 minutes, but we've yet to have a score. We'll be back. From the 28 for New England, James tries to pick a spot, but Haslett and a host of other blue shirts stop him.
Lenny, it's not a good idea, I don't think, today to run the ball outside. The field is wet. It's very slippery. When you run the ball on the outside, there's a look at 1st quarter score, Cincinnati over New York. When you run the ball on the outside perimeter, you need good footing, and you don't have that today.
That was a Collinsworth catch from Esiason's. Funny story about Hank Bulla. He was a co-head coach for 1 game with New England. He and Ronnie Earhart in 1978, co-head coaches for 1 game when Fairbanks was fired. They both gave pregame prep talks, and the team lost anyway. 2nd down at the 28. Incomplete. Looking on the far side for Derek Ramsey, the tight end. So this will be 3rd down. These offenses have struggled. Just look at the statistic for points scored for the season. Buffalo's only scored 63 points, and all the Patriots have scored is 90. That's the key statistic.
2 different situations, though. The Patriots are a very talented football team. Tony Eason hasn't had the year so far. That's Joe Cribbs. He's been around 50% pass completion percentage, but that's because he has had so many injuries to his wide receivers.
Cribbs hopes to play next week at home against the Colts. 3rd down now and 10 from the 28. Pressure from Smith. The throw is a good one. A completion on the far side. This time in traffic. Stanley Morgan holds on where he couldn't before when he was open.
During the offseason, Raymond Berry had Stanley Morgan work with what we call silly putty. Now, as a rookie in Dallas 15 years ago, Raymond Berry gave me that same silly putty to strengthen my hands. Watch it. Watch his hands. You see that? Good catch. Good hand-eye coordination, and that's good hand strength. Once again, here is Eason. Eason looking one way and throwing the other. Get up in the air, Stanley Morgan.
Driven back by Rodney Bellinger. 1st down, 13-yard pickup. They're at the 15-yard line. Eason over the middle. Fryer complete at about the 8 with Marv, the linebacker, covering him. So now Eason is completing it to his wide receivers. Fryer, a former number 1. Look at the number 1s we've had in the overall draft the last few years. Kenneth Sims, Irving Fryer, the Patriots. Bruce Smith of Buffalo. It tells you how these teams have done where they've been in the position to draft number 1 overall.
Also tells you that they haven't done very well because you can't pick first unless you're not having a good season.
Right. So 2nd and 3 at the 8 for New England. Handoff inside to James, maybe picks up a yard. Ben Williams, Bruce Smith combining on the defensive front 3 for the Buffalo Bills. They are last in the National Football League in defending the rush, but so far today they have done well.
Well, that's because I believe that the Patriots will seek to exploit the defensive secondary of the Buffalo Bills. 1, the Bills do not get a good pass rush, and 2, the Patriots have so much speed that they're looking for mismatches in the secondary.
Important 3rd and 3 from the 8. Greg Hawthorne is in the backfield now for the Patriots, and Eason wants to put it up as he rolls out. Fires. Intercepted by the rookie Derek Burrows.
Wow.
So his first NFL start turns in a crucial interception for the Bills. We've had 3 turnovers in the game thus far this afternoon.
Derek Burrows, number 29, coming out of Memphis State. They said he was the best pure man-on-man defender in the draft a year ago.
How about starting your first NFL game, turning in your first interception? 1st down from the 20, and Greg Bell takes us straight ahead for a couple. We have 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. We've had 3 turnovers. Tony Eason and Vince Ferragamo both plagued by interceptions so far this season, and they've both been intercepted this afternoon 1 time each.
This has been what's been plaguing the New England Patriots. With all of their talent, all of their speed, and number 1 draft choices, they have been self-destructing.
Derek Burrows has to feel pretty good. I wonder if he kept that football over to the side. 2nd and 7 of the 23 for Buffalo. Ramson again in motion. Play action fake to Bell. Ferragamo nearly intercepted. Or was he? Steve Nelson had it in his hands. You know, that should be 3 interceptions for the Patriots this afternoon. McSwain dropped 1. Nelson dropped this one. It was Roland James who held on. Ferragamo has the plays, as you see, written on his wrist. I think you should just throw them away.
And Raymond Berry has been having all of his players prior to practice each day handle a football, do extra pass catching drills so that they can improve their takeaway ratio on defense. But that hasn't been working to their advantage today.
Now it's 3rd down and 7 at the 23. Ferragamo passing 0 for 3 with 1 interception. It's been tough. And he's not shell-shocked. He throws complete to the rookie Chris Burkett of Jackson State. 1st down for Buffalo. 12-yard pickup.
Burkett is a tall, lanky receiver that came out of Jackson State in the Southwest Athletic Conference.
They've had some good people out of that school. Walter Payton, of course.
Yes. Matter of fact, Burkett was 2nd team all-conference to a fellow by the name of Jerry Rice, the number 1 pick of the San Francisco 49ers.
1st down for Buffalo at the 33. 3 tight ends in the lineup. Ramson again heads out. Bell straight ahead. Andre Tippett grabs him after Sims missed the first grab. And a pickup of about 2 for the Buffalo Bills.
The New England Patriots defensive unit is an outstanding one. It's very talented, led by Andre Tippett. Houston 3-0 over Cleveland. Andre Tippett, 18.5 sacks a year ago. That's a phenomenal figure for anybody. Oh, that's a linebacker. He's big, 6'3", 241 pounds. It's very difficult for halfbacks to block him on the blitz, and he's too quick for the offensive lineman to block him, so he's a terror.
This is a 2nd and 8 for the Bills at their 34. Ferragamo, and he overthrows Greg Bell. Last week, Ferragamo was overthrowing Jerry Butler with regularity, and it's got to be tough for Vince. Wow.
It's not an easy way to make a living when you don't exactly have the best pass protection in the world, and your best receiver, Jerry Butler, is coming back after not having played in 1984, and defenses take him away, so all you have left is throwing the ball to Andre Reed, number 83, a rookie who has been very impressive this year.
And he's taking snaps from a different center today.
Tim Vogler.
And the weather's a bit bad, so any excuse you would like to make for Vince Ferragamo is certainly there for the taking this afternoon. 3rd and 8 at the 34. Shotgun formation. Throwing deep for Burkett. He's got it at the Patriots 39, covered by the veteran Raymond Claiborne. So our rookie takes the veteran to school for a pickup of 25.
As I told you, he is a big, tall target. And it's a very cold day. And to make a catch like that by Burkett is unusual for a rookie. Watch it now. Another one of the wobbly Ferragamo passes, and he does do a fine job against Raymond Claiborne.
You know, with Mitchell Brookins now on injured reserve, the wide receiver, Burkett getting a shot. He had only 4 catches coming in before today, and he's made 2 this afternoon. And now Buffalo with their best field position. 1st and 10 at the 39. Remember last time they were in this situation, a penalty, and they were thrown for a loss. Let's see what they do here. And there's motion on the right side.
You called it.
Same thing as last, self-destructing offense again.
That's right. Buffalo is one of the more penalized teams in the league. They've been called for 48 penalties, totaling close to 400
False
yards.
start, number 70 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Joe Devlin on the right side, right tackle.
When you have that many penalties, Lenny, it really disrupts the continuity of the drive, and it takes the quarterback out of his play calling scheme.
Well, we'll take a look at this one. You have 5-0 Rams against the 0-5 Bucks, and James Wilder gives Tampa Bay the lead. The Bengals doing it to the Giants in the 1st quarter in Cincinnati. Here, scoreless, 2:47 remain 1st quarter. 1st and 15 now at the 44. Ferragamo nearly intercepted by Johnny Rembert. That should have been the 4th interception against Ferragamo.
Well, these people, particularly the Buffalo Bills, are throwing caution to the wind with Vince Ferragamo at quarterback. He apparently isn't seeing some of the defenders who are cutting in front of his passes, and he just doesn't have the velocity. One of the reasons why it's hard to get the velocity is it's hard to grip the football.
Do you think Hank Bulla is at all thinking about Bruce Matheson, his backup quarterback?
I don't think so.
2nd and 15 at the 44. Just a thought. Bell for a couple, but not the play you need when you need a lot of yardage. Andre Tippett and Kenneth Sims combining for the tackle. And this will set up 3rd and long inside of 2.5 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Here's where, once the Bills get Joe Cribbs back, Joe Cribbs is probably the most effective back in football. Pass catching ability out of the backfield. Right now, they don't have that without Cribbs. Now, when they get Cribbs back, they will be a much more dangerous football team in this situation.
Do you think he'll run Cribbs and Bell together, 2 small backs in the backfield?
He says that he will, but I think it's difficult because neither of those fellows blocks very well.
Shotgun, 3rd and 13. And he threw into some tough coverage for Andre Reed. Ronnie Lippett was covering.
There's an example of the liberalization of the pass interference rule.
We may have a flag, Reggie. Yes, it is.
I'll hold my comment.
Defensive pass interference on the intended receiver.
See, I was going to be wrong, Lenny. I thought that was an excellent example of the new freedom that the defensive back has. Let's watch it. Now, the defensive back can play through the man to the ball.
Maybe it was the left hand there.
Oh, I couldn't see it from that angle, but apparently he must have had his left arm around the
He might
receiver.
have had his hand wrapped around. That is a very costly penalty. Instead of 4th down in the punt, that's an automatic 1st down at the Patriots 38. Ronnie Lippett, that's the man they will try to work on. Ferragamo wants to throw again. Tipped, and another near interception by Raymond Claiborne.
And Raymond Claiborne is the one defender in the Patriots secondary that has sure hands and usually does something fantastic with the football once he gets it. Watch it now. Ball's in and out, tipped at the line of scrimmage, as a matter of fact, and Claiborne had a shot down the right sideline.
Claiborne, that's a record for the Patriots, his 111th consecutive start. You have heard the cliche dodging a bullet. Ferragamo has dodged an entire machine gun round. 5 near interceptions. 2nd down at the 38. And Bell on the draw. Rembert in there. Fred Marion chasing him. Finally drag him down. Well short of a 1st down, but 3rd down coming up.
Fred Marion, number 31, the safety for the Patriots. It's an interesting story. 2nd on the team in tackles a year ago from the free safety position.
That's right. Eagles with a field goal. Ball down to the 34 now.
You may wonder if Ferragamo won't try to exploit the fact that Marion comes up very fast from the safety position. He may try to fake a run and throw something deep behind Marion.
Coming down to 1 minute remaining in a scoreless 1st quarter. 3rd and 6 at the 34. Andre Reed in motion. Swings it out to Bell. Bell was looking to do something with it. Instead, he's thrown for a loss. I'd like to say we have a scoreless 1st quarter because of the defenses, but I have a hunch it's more because of the inability of the offenses, Reggie.
Well, I don't like some of the schemes that I'm seeing right now, and the selection and the choice of where Ferragamo in particular has been throwing the football hasn't been the very best, but he isn't by himself. He's got help.
John Kidd, his first punt was a short one. Irving Fryer is standing back on the 10 for New England. Kidd puts it in good position. Fryer waves for a fair catch, and he had some daylight. He could have run. So the Patriots take over at their 11. We have 11 seconds remaining 1st quarter, and Tony Eason, number 11, coming on. We'll be back. Back in Foxborough, the rain has let up. 11 seconds remaining in a scoreless 1st quarter. The Patriots start at their 11. The 2nd man is Tony Collins. Has some room across the 20 and slides up to the 25. Out of bounds with 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. A 13-yard pickup for Collins, and that's a quarter of the Patriots' total offense. The Patriots have garnered just 62 yards total offense in this 1st quarter. Buffalo has responded with just 44 yards of their own. Well, that's in the 1st inning. Pittsburgh, 2-run homer, but over Dallas. Good one going there. Here we're looking for points as well. Fryer in motion. This could be the last play of the 1st quarter. And they do it conservatively. Tony Collins runs a couple of yards. There's the gun. And we have had 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, 5 near interceptions, and no points after 1. Reggie, my kingdom for some offense.
Well, Buffalo is staying in this football game right now because they've been able to take the football away from New England, a much more superior team talent-wise. They've been able to take the ball away from them twice.
So if there's some encouragement for Buffalo Bills fans watching today, as you know, this team hasn't won on the road for nearly 2 years now. At least they're tied after 1.
Well, Buffalo is cutting down on its margin of error, and I think what Hank Buller will do is really get this team disciplined enough so that they cut down also on some of the penalties that they've been having, because so far that's what's stopping them, the penalties.
That's right. A couple of times they've gotten inside the Patriots 40. They've had a couple of 5-yard penalties that have pushed them back. So the Buffalo team has not been able to push it forward very well. The first quarter statistics, as we noted before,
Key
Buffalo's
statistic
had
right
the
there.
ball a lot, but haven't been able to do much with it. There's a 2nd and 9 at the 26 for New England. Eason to throw. Looking for Tony Collins. He did not hold on. Incompletion, with Marv and Charles Romes covering on the far side for Buffalo. Sets up 3rd down.
When you're a pass catcher on offense on a day like this, and you have to put your hands down on the turf that's wet, your hands pick up moisture. Now you must be sure to wipe your hands and to dry your hands as much as you possibly can, because if you don't, the ball is going to be slick and you're going to drop it.
Well, no, Pittsburgh did not add a rouge there. Our 2-0 score we had before was incorrect. It's 3-0, and that game is in the 2nd quarter. That's where the 2 came in. 3rd down and 9. Eason had trouble with his own lineman, Hanna, blocking in front of him, and throws incomplete on the near side. Look at the Buffalo defense. Guy Frazier, who switched over to the other outside linebacking spot, one of the key men, and on that play.
Well, you can't tell from looking at the Buffalo Bills that they're 0-5. They're a very spirited-looking team today. They're hustling all over the field, and there's a trademark to a Hank Bulla defense of pursuit and hustle.
And now we will look at the best NFL punter on for the first time, Rich Camarillo. And again, Buffalo will get decent field position. Donald Wilson is back at his 35 for the Buffalo Bills. Camarillo, good long punt, not a lot of height. Wilson at the 23, across the 30 and upended before he can get to the 35. Good tackle turned in by special teams captain Mosi Tutupu. So opening seconds, 2nd quarter, scoreless. Buffalo gets it back once again. Eyes have brightened just a bit. The lights are on at Sullivan Stadium, and the rain thankfully is held off. The Bills have 1st and 10 at their 35. Ramson again in motion. He's looking to pass instead, Reg, and gets it to Ramson, and it's complete, but close to a Buffalo 1st down at the 44, maybe the 45, and Ferragamo completes his 4th pass for a total of 38 yards, and he's not being shell-shocked. He has seen a handful of passes nearly picked off, but he's still going through the air, and he did pick up a 1st down at his 45. Ferragamo starts at his 45 now. Ramson again in motion. Handoff up the middle. Bell lost the football. The Patriots say they have it. The officials concur. So now it's even. Each team has lost a fumble. Each has had an interception. Andre Tippett, the recovery of the Greg Bell fumble.
The difference is the Buffalo Bills, quite frankly, aren't good enough to be able to turn the football over and stay in the football game. Now, they've been playing good transition defense, as they must play right now, but they simply cannot afford to fumble the football. Here's Bell being met squarely in the hole by Kenneth Sims. He can't find the ball, and that's where you get hurt, right down in there when helmets go down for the football.
Berry has a fumble recovery drill where the players pounce on the ball. 1st down throwing and completing to Robert Weathers, the backup fullback. And he picks up a couple of yards. Martin Bayless covering. Dallas is now taking the lead over Pittsburgh, 7-3 in the 2nd quarter. Scoreless as well, Indianapolis. Boy, that's quite a come down after all the points they scored last week. Giants can't get on the board in Cincinnati. Look at that. That's a surprise. 0-5 Tampa Bay, leading the Rams in the 2nd quarter. Here it's scoreless, 2nd and 5 at the 42 for the Patriots. And straight ahead, but not picking up much, Robert Weathers and Fred Smerlas greeted him. Smerlas, a local product from Waltham. Houston with the early lead over the Bernie Kosar-led Cleveland Browns.
That's a surprise.
Washington looks like they've got their act back together again, leading the Detroit Lions 10-3, and scoreless second quarter in Green Bay. The points are hard to come by around the NFL, it seems like. Bills with 6 defensive backs on a 3rd and 4 at the 41. Eason throwing, knocked down, intended for Cedric Jones and Derek Burrows, and if this keeps up, this rookie may get a game ball. He has an interception, a knockdown, and now Rich Camarillo will come on to punt as Charles Romes gives him some encouragement, as do his teammates on the near side.
The one thing Burrows has is blazing speed, and he sticks to receivers very tightly. And when you have that kind of speed and that kind of man-to-man ability, it gives you a lot of confidence to play these professional receivers the way Burrows is playing them this afternoon.
Did well on his first punt. As we noted before, he leads the league. Donald Wilson back at his 10. The teams are giving the opposition plenty of chances. They've handed the ball over a total of 4 times, and the offenses can't do anything with it. Camarillo, bad punt aimed towards this side, and that will hurt his average. It's marked out of bounds all the way up at the 29. A 12-yard punt for Rich Camarillo. What will go wrong for these teams next? If you wonder what Rich Camarillo's been doing during that last commercial, he's been standing there just shaking his head.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. Worst punt of his glorious short career. First down for the Buffalo Bills at their 29. Suddenly they're saying to themselves, we can win this football game. Ferragamo fires, and overthrowing on the far side to Andre Reed. Ronnie Lippett covering, and that's the side he'll try to work.
Fortunately for Vince, he threw that ball high, because if that ball had been lower, it would have been picked off for a touchdown.
A Sammy Winder run, the point was missed. Denver beating Indianapolis. And the Rams have come back. Dieter Brock to Bobby Duckworth. They've tied at 7 apiece in the second quarter.
I'll never understand the trade San Diego to send Duckworth up to LA.
They picked up a lineman and a draft choice for that. Second down, play action fake. Throwing for Reed again. This time he has it near the first down marker. And that's a 10-yard pickup. And I'm sure Hank Bullough, when he gathered his offense around before, said if we can get anything going, we can beat these guys.
Certainly, Andre Reed is a big find in 1985 for the Buffalo Bills. A scintillating rookie from Kutztown State in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
He's made a remarkable impression on the fans up in upper state New York.
So they're going to measure this. Maybe just a bit short of a first down, we'll see. No, they made it by the nose of a football. Yep. So a quick first down pickup to the 39. We have a little more than 12 minutes remaining.
Hank Bullough, coming into this game, wanted to try to get the football a great deal to Andre Reed. He's a very clever pass runner. He has fine speed, and he's been showing the propensity for the big play.
Eagles with another field goal against the Cards. Here we are early in the second quarter, looking for our first score of any kind. First down at the 39 for the Buffalo Bills. Pitch back to Bell. Holds it in one hand. That's a dangerous way to carry the ball. Heads out of bounds, holds onto it. But there must be some scoring going on elsewhere. Let's go to NFL 85.
All right, Lynn, down in Dallas, the Cowboys have struck with the big play against the Steelers. Second quarter, Danny White back. Tony Dorsett splits the seam, beating the linebacker. Tom Landry has been using Dorsett more as a receiver. Dallas 7-3 second quarter. Back to Lynn and Reggie.
Thank you, Bill. That was your first club, the Dallas Cowboys, wasn't it,
Dallas
Reggie?
Cowboys was my first club, and Raymond Berry was my first coach.
Of course, Reggie was a collegiate here with Boston University and then went on to star with the Patriots. 2nd and 6 at the 43. Fake to Bell. Ferragamo nearly intercepted by Fred Marion, intended for Jerry Butler.
Let me tell you one of the things that's happening, and the reason why so many defensive backs are getting their hands on these balls. These receivers, when they go downfield and make their cuts inside, have to do it very gingerly. They don't have the normally sure footing that they would have. Therefore, the pass and the timing is off, and the defensive backs are sitting back and getting their hands on the footballs. But, you know, defensive backs, I've seen better hands on clocks than defensive backs.
But Raymond Berry works with them. He wants them to catch as many balls as the offensive receivers. Third down. Throwing deep for Burkett, and he was tangling with Raymond Claiborne. A lot of finger pointing going on, but no flag is thrown. The result, incomplete, and Buffalo will punt.
That's a good no call by the officials because Claiborne was looking back for the ball. And this year, if the defensive back is looking back and making an attempt for the ball, no matter what type of contact, they will not call pass interference.
But if the other player is not looking back, you're supposed to call interference on the player who's not doing the looking. If they're both looking or neither is looking, no flag.
Right.
John Kidd back to punt. Punt is a short one, and it's taken at the 26 by Fred Marion. So a 32-yard punt for John Kidd. 11:51 remaining in the first half, and still goose eggs. Raymond Berry looking for some offense. They have scored just one offensive touchdown each of the last 4 games. The backs are split. He had said he was going to go to the I formation.
Fumble.
Collins gets it back, retreats to his 10. Gets up to the 15. Lucius Sanford with a strong tackle on the far side. Congratulated by his other defensive mates.
The folks are booing here at Sullivan Stadium, but they just don't understand how slick it gets on this kind of field and this kind of weather, Lenny, because your hands are cold, the ball is wet, the players' uniforms are wet. See, his uniform is wet from falling on the turf so many times. So when Eason puts the ball in there, it just slips right out. You don't have that abrasiveness that you need normally when everything is dry.
This will be 2nd and 20 back to the 16. This recalls a game back in 1978 opening day. 7-0 Houston over New England in the rain. A fumble recovery was the only points. Eason completes it, and then the ball's knocked away, and it will be ruled
complete.
What?
Complete, and his knees were down. Has
Tony
to be.
Collins will get the completion to the 19. Jim Haslett was covering. So it goes in the book as a pass completion. And now 3rd down from the 19. They need the 31 for a first down. Coming up at halftime, Bills in for Bob. Ahmad and Axe will be there, and they'll have all the scores and highlights. And if they show highlights from this game, there will be turnovers.
And the Bills have their pass rushing specialists in the game, and this is the situation they want on defense.
This is 3rd and 16. Eason wobbles one, intercepted by Charles Romes. And Buffalo is in business as Romes has now turned in an interception for the 3rd straight week.
Now we're beginning to see the skill and the genius that is Hank Bullough. He's known around this league as a defensive genius. He put Don Smith in there in a pass rushing situation. He forced Tony Eason to force the football by pressure. Remember, if you get more sacks than you give up, you're in position to take the ball away and to cause the offense to be disrupted. Here it is. He's throwing under a lot of pressure. Result, interception by the veteran Charles Romes.
It was intended for Lynn Dawson. Now the Bills with their best field position. First down at the Patriots 23. Bell breaks ahead for a pickup of 5 down to the 18. Finally, Fred Marion combined with Steve Nelson to bring him down.
Now, Buffalo has 3 takeaways in this game, right? Okay, there it is, 3-2, which gives the Bills a +3, a +1, I'm sorry, and keeps this game close.
This will be a 2nd and 5 at the 18. We're inside of 10 minutes remaining of a scoreless first half. 3 interceptions in the game, 2 fumble recoveries. And Ramsden in motion again. And Bell the carry again, but this time nothing, as the old wily veteran Julie Adams combined with Dennis Owens to bring Bell down. Adams playing in his last year, but now let's check in with Bill McAtee. Another update.
All right, Lenny, Denver has scored against the Colts. Here's the play that set it up. John Elway to Clint Sampson. The play covers 45 yards, puts the ball down at the 1. Sammy Winder takes it in from there, but the extra point was missed, so it's 6-0 Denver.
Well, I saw Clint Sampson get hit by Donald Wilson, who plays for the Bills here in Buffalo last year. I never thought Sampson would live, and now comes back, gets a touchdown today. Rolling out is Ferragamo. Throwing back to this side on the screen to Ramson. A flag goes down, and Ramson is down as well near the 5. And he may be hurt.
Well, that kind of play takes a lot of timing between the offensive line and the man who's catching the screen. Sometimes the offensive guys get downfield.
Ineligible downfield, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Number 72, illegally downfield.
That's Ken Jones. It looked like a beautifully designed play, but Jones just jumped apparently a little bit.
The problem with it is that the offensive linemen sometimes lose track of the line of scrimmage, Lynn, and they get beyond the line of scrimmage, and an offensive lineman cannot go down the field before the ball is caught.
Ramson limps off a bit. I'll tell you, I saw Vogler well ahead of Ken Jones on the play. So if one guy was offside, I think it might have been Vogler. And he is playing a new position, so maybe that's where the flag was. But a costly penalty. Instead of being at the Patriots 5, the Bills are pushed back to the 30. This will be 3rd and 17. Penalties have killed the Bills, and that's an old story for Buffalo fans. Not so many flags against the Patriots today, and now the Bills call a timeout. Ferragamo wants to have somebody help him read his wrist, check out the plays to see what to pull out of the hat on 3rd and long here with 8:49 remaining in the first half. Let's see what's going on elsewhere. As they attend to Ramson on their side, the Bengals rolling it up. James Brooks has just scored in the second quarter on a 5-yard run. It's 1-0 Bengals. And guess who? Eric Dickerson, 6-yard run. The Rams were 7 down. They're now up by 7. And John Riggins is starting to exert himself. A 1-yard touchdown followed by a 21-yard scamper. The Redskins lead the Lions now 17-3.
Oh, Vince Ferragamo probably feels right now that he hasn't done a whole lot for his team offensively, but then again, the Patriots are playing just as poorly. And quite frankly, I think both teams are thinking about what they're going to do tomorrow or the next day, because they certainly aren't displaying any obvious skills here this afternoon.
Wow. Buffalo 3 costly penalties. Patriots have just been flagged once, but the calls against the Bills have really hurt them. Is this the last hurrah this afternoon for the Kansas City Royals? The Blue Jays did it again with 3 runs in the 9th last night. Can the Blue Jays wrap it up to force the first International World Series? We will find out immediately following football. And then tonight at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals try to even things with the Dodgers. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So following football, a baseball doubleheader. What a sports day here on NBC. Hope you'll stay with us.
3rd down and obvious passing situation again, Lynn. This is where Ferragamo has gotten in trouble in the past.
To repeat, this is 3rd and 17. They need the 13 for a first down. Ulysses Norris in motion. Throwing to the equipment man on the far side. There's the best catch of the day. And Ronnie Lippett picks him up. Way to go. Give that man the game ball. A big ovation from the Sullivan Stadium crowd.
Well, this is the best catch we've seen all day, because there wasn't a receiver, and hey, sign him up.
Andre Reed says, give me that ball.
Can you believe that guy made a catch like that?
So now, Scott Norwood, who's been perfect, hasn't missed a kick all year. This will be an attempt from the 38, so a 48-yard field goal attempt for Scott Norwood. And he is still perfect. And the winless Buffalo Bills, with 8:39 remaining in the first half, have taken a 3-0 lead over the Patriots, thanks to the first-year player from James Madison, Scott Norwood.
Well, this is a very basic offensive game plan for the Buffalo Bills. Hank Bulla is really trying to cut down on the number of times he turns the ball over or the number of penalties that's called against his football team. And as long as he can do that, I don't care how inartistic the game looks, he's going to be in this football game with an opportunity to win.
Coming up at halftime, join Bill, Ahmad, and Pete. They got some highlights and finally something to show you from this game. It is 3-0, the Bills. Buffalo fans do not have to be reminded that the road has been awfully long and unfriendly for the Buffalo Bills over the years. Their last road victory in December of 1983. And here they have a 3-point lead. Recognize number 14. Some of the fans are calling for the old veteran Steve Grogan to come back. Lost his job early last year. Good friends with Tony Eason. But some of the fans think that maybe the offense needs Grogs back. Stephen Starring at the 3. Starring at the 20. And he gets to the 26 before he is stopped by Eric Wilson. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
A little bit of booing from the crowd because Tony Eason is coming back. Tony and the New England offense has struggled, and there are some reasons for that. First down at the 27. Fryer in motion. Pitch back to Craig James. Steve Freeman comes up to make the stop, and a flag is thrown right at his feet. Marv also in there as well. Here's Gene Barth.
Number 32, Craig James on the carry for the Patriots.
A Patriots hold. What are some of the reasons, Reggie, for the struggling offensive production for the Patriots?
Well, play selection right now has a great deal to do with what's going on. They are running plays that really don't make a lot of sense given the field conditions. You can't run outside if you don't have good footing.
67 offense. 10-yard penalty. It'll still be first down.
Grogan signaling in the play. Penalty against Steve Moore.
Also, when you have field conditions such as this, players try to do things to offset the field conditions and the weather conditions. Like just then, they may have to hold.
He's made some terrific scrambles in his career in the early days. Obviously didn't run as much as he got older. First and 20 from the 17. Eason for Fryer. Nearly had it at the 39, but could not hang on. There's that youngster, Derek Burrows, again in on the action.
Also, good hit by number 22, Steve Freeman, who read the play very well, was sitting in the passing lane waiting on Fryer. Middle of your screen, number 80, Fryer, coming back right towards you. See how he has to round that pattern? He really can't get into position to make the catch because he doesn't have good footing.
6 defensive backs in for the Bills on an obvious throwing situation. Patriots respond with 3 wide receivers. 2nd and 20 at the 17. This one's a completion, and Starring can't get away from the grasp of Rodney Bellinger. There's a flag down. There's a tussle going on. If the play stands, it's short of a first down. Irving Fryer being pushed away by the Patriots.
Personal foul, 43 defense. We'll tackle on 15 yards.
Martin Bayless, and another costly Buffalo penalty.
Absolutely a mindless sort of thing to do because you know that you're in a tight ball game. The last thing you want to do if you're a member of the Buffalo Bills defensive unit is to give 15 yards to the opponent because of a penalty of that nature.
What should have been a 14-yard pickup has Hank Bulla steamed. Instead, it's a 31-yard combination gain of the pass and the penalty. The Patriots are out to their 48. First down, and talk about a full house backfield. Look at all those guys back there. Call this a triple I. I don't think Buffalo's seen this formation. Now they split. One of them's a tight end, Derek Ramsey. Look, I think they're the Cowboys out there. And grabbed by Lucius Sanford. That's the first sack of the day. Eason down to this 39.
Lucius Sanford just coming off of injured reserve. He has been a key member of over the years in this Buffalo Bills linebacking core. They have been doing without him over the first part of this 1985 season. They'll know they're happy to have him back. Coming from the right side, the blind side of Eason with the sack, Lucius Sanford.
John Hanna, number 73, just looking back and hopeless feeling for an all-pro guard. 7:15 remaining in the half. Now a 2nd and 15 for the struggling Patriots. Sanford's coming again. Greg James trying to hold him off. Eason picking up airline miles on that run and finally out of bounds to a chorus of boos.
Eason should have gotten rid of the football, Lynn, and I think the fans here in New England are sophisticated enough to know that he had enough time, if there wasn't a play developing, to throw the football away, and he didn't do it. They're going to call that a sack. Are they?
Probably will. This is 3rd and 26, if you can believe it, from their 32. They need the Buffalo 42. And that does indeed count as the 2nd sack of the day, turned in by the Buffalo defense. They'll be coming on this one. And they get him. Give that one to Toby Williams. Sack number 3. And he counts them out as well.
And who's causing havoc for the Buffalo Bills offensive line? Sorry for the New England Patriots offensive line.
May be hurt, and the crowd through the back door may get their choice of Steve Grogan if Eason cannot come back. Grogan starts to warm the hands on the far side.
That's Bruce Smith. We talked about him at the top of the show.
Now they're snapping from the 19. Camarillo back all the way up to his 5. A low kick, but he gets distance to Donald Wilson at his 39. Wilson eludes Bowman, and Wilson lost the ball, but it's covered, I believe, by Jim Haslett of Buffalo.
This really is a sloppy game, Lynn. I tell you, I've never seen so many penalties, so many fumbles, so many poorly thrown passes, tackling. You've seen it all out here today.
And the crowd is cheering because on the far side, Steve Grogan, the veteran quarterback, is starting to limber up, number 14.
I don't think Raymond Berry has any other choice but to get Grogan ready.
Buffalo with a 3-point lead with the ball at their 48, 6:24 remaining in the half. Greg Bell does well to get to the 49 of New England territory for a pickup of 3 before Fred Marion and Andre Tippett combined to track him down. The Giants are on the board, still trailing 21-3. And look at this. Tampa Bay has come back to take the lead over the Rams. Good one going there, 17-14, Buccaneers. Houston, a couple of Zendejas field goals, shutting out the Browns. And Tommy Kramer's hit Mike Jones from 14 yards. So here, 2nd and 7 at the Pats 49. Ramson again in motion. Chased by McGrew, and that should count as a sack if the other one did. Out of bounds at the line of scrimmage at the 49. That will count as the first sack, and it's credited to Larry McGrew, his first of the year.
No gain on the play. Third down, 7 yards to go.
This will set up 3rd and 7 at the 49. We've just received a call from Canton, Ohio, Reggie. They said keep the tapes of this game. We're not interested. If this lead holds up for Vince Ferragamo and his teammates, and they have 5:31 remaining in the half, this will be their first lead at halftime, let alone the end of a game this season. Ferragamo overthrowing for Burkett, but a flag down. Ronnie Lippett turning around, saying, "Who, me?" And let's see if it is he. Gene Barth.
Illegal contact, 42 defense, a 5-yard penalty, will give a first down.
Automatic first down. Ronnie Lippett, hands on hips.
Okay, you can only hit that receiver within the first 5 yards. After that, you have to let him alone. Now, Lippett makes contact beyond the 5-yard parameters. Therefore, he was assessed with that penalty.
So that's a costly penalty against New England. Moves the ball down to the 44 for a first down.
Lippett is the player that most teams go after because of the outstanding play of Raymond Claiborne on the other side. But he's a good corner.
Greg Bell picks his way ahead for a good pickup down to the 35. Fred Marion finally made the tackle.
One thing you have to keep in mind is that 1 week ago when Hank Bullough took over the Buffalo Bills football team, he didn't really have enough time to begin to leave his blueprint on their style of play. Now he's had 2 weeks to prepare this club, to get his philosophy ingrained into their system. They're playing more like a Hank Bullough football team than a Kay Stevenson one right now.
That's a lot of rushes for just 37 yards for Bell. This is a 2nd and 1. Will they play conservative? Bell again. His 15th carry. Flag down. Second effort gets a first down, but let's check out the penalty.
Number 77, Ken Sampson on the stop for the Patriots, along with number 31, Fred Marion. Penalty flag on the field.
Personal foul, clipping, number 68. 15-yard penalty,
Joe
will replay the down.
The penalty against Buffalo.
Joe D.
Clipping.
getting the start today and getting the penalty as well.
Well, Joe D blocks against the run very well, and I can't see him in the picture.
Second down and
Right there.
That push.
Yes,
No?
that's Vogler, 65, that made that block in the
That's
back
what-
of Larry McGrew.
That's when the flag came down, right about that time. So maybe again Vogler was the man, and again he didn't get called for it. It's redundant to say a penalty is costly, but in this game particularly so. Many first downs have been wiped out by penalty. Second, 16 from midfield. And he hit his man, unfortunately hit him in the knee. Ramson. So it goes as an incompletion and sets up 3rd and long.
Vince Ferragamo's pass to number 87, Eason Ramson, incomplete. Number 28.
Ferragamo's saying, maybe I should have stayed in Canada. I don't know. This is an awfully tough game to come back after his struggle of a week ago.
Sometimes, look at him, looking at his wrist. See, sometimes you wonder how much that distracts a player's expression of his ability on the field when he has to pay that much attention to calling plays off of his wrist. It's got to bother you.
3rd and 16 at midfield. Complete. Greg Bell. Well short of a first down, and another flag is down, and in that position where I see the yellow flag, that might be a hold. So most of the gains are being nullified here. Tony Eason being helped into the runway. Perhaps near his left elbow, Tony Eason. So we will see Steve Grogan if and when the Patriots get it back with 4 minutes remaining in the half.
68 offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, will replay the 3rd down.
I've always contended that the most unsettling element on a football game is penalties. And the Buffalo Bills have been assessed with a number of them today. They have been plagued in 1985 by penalties, and they are going on and on and on, and they're virtually disrupting any kind of continuity that they might have on offense.
There's Grogan, and frankly, I'm surprised they're playing the down, because they would have been 4th and long and out of field goal range, and here they're giving Buffalo a second chance. But they do not cash in. Credit the sack to Julie Adams and Andre Tippett. The two of them combined for the second sack of Ferragamo this afternoon.
To an offense, as I said, the most disruptive thing has to be penalties. The second most disruptive thing then are quarterback sacks. And they have sacked Vince Ferragamo 2 times today. And he is a forlorn young man. Number 5, Vince Ferragamo.
John Kidd standing back at his 16. Irving Fryer at the 25.
Not a good kick.
Near side. Patriots let it bounce, takes a Bill bounce out of bounds. And Steve Grogan will start at his 30. And the cheers of the crowd as the likable veteran comes on for the first time since early last season. He was replaced during the Seattle game when the Patriots were trailing. Tony Eason led the comeback, and Ron Meyer made Eason the starting quarterback there on out. Here he comes, Grogan in his return.
Just by the nature of the crowd reaction to Grogan's entrance into this football game, sometimes it can have an uplifting effect on the morale of the football team, and it might be just what they're seeking is a shot in the arm or leadership at quarterback from number 14, Steve Grogan.
First down at the 30. He has not played since early last season in a regular season game. Tony Collins on the, and there's a snap, fumble.
The Bills have the football. Now, whether someone moves is debatable.
No signal yet. It was not a storybook start for the veteran. They're still fighting for the ball, and now the Bills have it.
You know, the irony in this is that 1 week ago in Cleveland, when Danielson was hurt, Kosar came into the football game and fumbled on the snap. Maybe Buffalo, seeing that in the films, thought that, hey, let's try this guy, because the ball is wet, his hands have to be cold, and there it is, the exchange from center with Pete Brock, number 58. Grogan's reaching down for it, and I can't tell who that is in the Buffalo uniform that got that football, but
Jim Haslett.
very alert play by Haslett.
First down at the 28. That silenced the happy crowd. Bell heads to the outside. Tippett and James were there, and he stopped at the 25. We have 3:15 remaining in the turnover-filled first half. 4 New England turnovers, 2 for Buffalo, and Steve Grogan will practice a few snaps with Pete Brock.
Well, they should have done that before they went in the first time. That's usually what you do, but I'm sure Grogan had to talk with Raymond Berry about, well, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do with the football?
Inside of 3 minutes now. 2nd and 6 at the 24. Ramson again. Greg Bell picks a hole, runs into Marion, and yet another flag goes down with 2:37 remaining in the first half.
Holding, number 72 offense, 10 yards penalty. We're moving back, 2nd down.
Ken Jones. So offensive line penalties have plagued the Buffalo Bills as they continue to lead, though, 3-0.
That's Greg Bell right there in the middle of your screen. And 72 is Ken Jones that has his hand on the jersey of Julius Adams, number 85.
I'll bet you some of Buffalo's yardage backwards on the penalties equals their yardage forward from their offense. 2nd and 16 at the 34. Ferragamo will try another one. Plenty of time. Tipped. And Claiborne went after it. The pass intended for Butler. Johnny Rembert, number 52, the fellow who fell on a punt last week in Cleveland, who tipped the ball there. Here's Butler. Isolated view of him as he tries to work against Raymond Claiborne. Good leap here. You'll see Rembert get his hands on it, can't hang on. And then Claiborne comes in and makes a good defensive play against Jerry Butler. So this will set up 3rd and long as Ferragamo has missed his last 6 passes. 3rd and 16 at the 34. Look out. Number 3, Kenneth Sims with rookie Garen Veras. And the clock will run to the 2-minute warning as we take a look at the sack.
Here comes Ken Sims, who they say has been having more of a Ken Sims kind of year, putting pressure up the middle, collapsing that pocket around Ferragamo and sacking Ferragamo for the 3rd time.
So for Sims, his 2nd sack of the year, the 2-minute warning, Buffalo by a field goal. And now John Kidd will punt for a 5th time. Irving Fryer at his 10. Remember, he broke one 3 weeks ago. That was the big play then when New England won by 3. Here Buffalo leads by 3. Good punt.
Should let this one go.
They do, and it will pin the Patriots back by their 10, inside their 10. And it's covered by Jim Haslett.
I think the wise thing to do for New England with 1:49 left in the first half is to concentrate on protecting the football deep in your own end of the field and go to the clubhouse at halftime and talk this thing over, because they're facing a very inspired, spirited, and aggressive Buffalo Bills defense that hasn't played like this all year long.
Still waiting for a report on Tony Eason. In the meantime, the people's choice, Steve Grogan at quarterback, 1st and 10 at his 8. Fryer in motion. Long count. Good snap this time. Craig James, as they keep it simple, and he gets to the 10 for a pickup of 2. Charles Rome's on the stop.
Now you're watching Irving Fryer go in motion. Coming up at halftime, NFL 85 with Bill, Ahmad, and Axe. You're watching Irving Fryer go in motion quite a bit, but that motion isn't doing anything, Lenny, to the Buffalo Bills defense. When you send people in motion, hopefully you want the defense to move, but it's not happening, so they might as well stop it.
The offense for New England has been called unimaginative in the past, and maybe that adjective is correct again today. 2nd and 8 at the 10. Grogan picks up a yard or 2, but if he should get hurt as well and running the ball, he might. Their 3rd-string quarterback is a wide receiver, Stephen Starring.
And the New England Patriots are very much prepared if, in fact, Grogan gets hurt. They have an offense that they run with Stephen Starring playing quarterback, and they practice it every Monday and Saturday.
They're keeping it simple here, Reggie. They're not calling a timeout. Obviously, they want to run out the clock in this first half.
And a few years ago, Grogan would have taken that ball and ran for a 1st down. He was a terrific running quarterback a few years ago until the knee injury.
That's right. Good scramble. 25 seconds left in the half. And that should be delay of game. The 30-second clock is run out. So in the 3 snap opportunities for Steve Grogan, 1 has been fumbled. 2nd play he got off, although they couldn't make anything out of it. And here on the 3rd try, delay of game. So a bit of a rusty Steve Grogan coming in for the injured Tony Eason.
Well, as a professional athlete, you're expected to play under all kinds of conditions, circumstances, and you're supposed to be impervious to weather conditions, but I don't think that's the case today. These athletes on both sides of the football have been affected.
6 combined turnovers and just 3 points scored. 3rd down in his end zone. Throwing long for Fryer. He's got him. The clock has run out. Irving Fryer and Stanley Morgan. And Bruce Smith helps Steve Grogan up. They bust a long play, but time has run out on the first half. And as Fryer got it to Morgan.
He cannot advance that ball, though. In the last 2 minutes of a half or the game, only the man who fumbles the football is allowed to pick the football up again.
Let's hold it right here. The players are being called back on the field. Irving Fryer. Let's check out the end of this play. Fumbled. This cannot be advanced.
That's right.
By Stanley Morgan. It can only be advanced
by Irving Fryer.
By Fryer. Now let's see what the discussion is with the officials, because the players have been summoned back.
And also the game, all the half, cannot end on a defensive foul.
Well, I didn't see a flag dropped. Come on back, guys. We're going to hold off the meeting for a while. But advancing a fumble is not a penalty. So let's check out Gene Barth.
According to fourth down fumble rule, or a fumble inside of 2 minutes, the ball is dead where it was first fumbled if it's recovered by the advancing team. Therefore, the play was dead. However, the clocking expired. The half is over.
Thank you, Gene, and no penalty. And so, for the first time since December 8th, 1984, the Buffalo Bills lead at halftime. They lead the New England Patriots 3-0. They led the Jets back last December 17-7, so this is a rare lead for Buffalo, and certainly a rare lead on the road, looking for their first victory of '85. Scott Norwood has converted a 48-yard field goal in the second quarter. That's all we have. 3-0 Buffalo over New England. A total of 6 turnovers, 4 by the Patriots, 2 by the Bills. And so Buffalo finds themselves in rarefied air right now, on top in the scoring column, 3-0. NFL 85 halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
All right, we want to welcome those of you who have been watching New England and Buffalo. It is 3-0 Buffalo, and we want to take this opportunity to get you caught up on scores from around the National Football League as we get Week 6 underway. First of all, down in Dallas, the Cowboys lead the Steelers by a score of 10-3. Great first half for Danny White, who was 10 for 10 at 1 point. Tony Dorsett came in today needing just 31 yards to become the 6th player in NFL history to get 10,000. He only has 5 yards rushing, but his main contribution has come as a receiver. Beating the linebacker, splitting the seam. Dorsett scores. 56 yards the play covers. 10-3 Dallas after Raphael Septien's field goal just before the half. 10-3 down at Texas Stadium. Denver and Indianapolis, it is 6-3 in that ball game in the Hoosier Dome. A couple of 3-2 clubs. The Broncos one of 4 3-2 teams in the AFC West. Dan Reeves has watched his Broncos turn into a potent offense, and here's how the touchdown was scored. The sequence, it started with a punt return by Vance Johnson, who goes up the right side, finds the wall, 38 yards down to the 46-yard line. And then on the very next play, John Elway takes control. He finds Clint Sampson. The play covers 45 yards. It set up Sammy Winder's 2-yard touchdown run. 6-3 Denver after Raul Alegre's 28-yard field goal. The Giants in Cincinnati, this is a surprise. Cincinnati leads the game by a score of 21-3. It figured to be a big day for Phil Simms against the Bengals secondary, ranked last against the pass, but it has been all Cincinnati. They scored on their first possession and have dominated since, 21-3 at the half. The Rams and the Bucs, Tampa Bay leads this one 17-14. The Rams have won with defense, but Tampa Bay has played well. Eric Dickerson has scored a touchdown for the Rams. James Wilder has scored on a 1-yard touchdown run for Tampa Bay. Cleveland and Houston, they are at the half down in the Astrodome. The Oilers lead 6-0. A couple of Tony Zendejas field goals. And so far, it has been costly for Cleveland. They have lost Eddie Johnson, the Browns' leading tackler. Bernie Kosar started today, his first NFL start, and he was intercepted, although it wasn't his fault. The ball was tipped in the air, and the Oilers lead 6-0. Buffalo and New England, the game that you are watching. As you know, Tony Eason is now out. He has thrown a couple of interceptions. Steve Grogan replaced him and fumbled the first snap that he took. Of course, the big story in Buffalo, the return of that man. Joe Cribbs is back, although on the sidelines. Both Tony Eason and Vince Ferragamo have had interception problems. Here is a key interception, though. Derek Burrows, his first pro start, intercepts Eason in the end zone to stop a drive. Charles Romes will intercept Eason here. That set up the Buffalo field goal. Buffalo had 6 takeaways coming in. They have already had 4 today. 3-0 Buffalo. Detroit and Washington, the Redskins still on track. 17-3 the score at RFK Stadium. The Lions haven't won in Washington since 1937. And at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Minnesota and Green Bay have just gone into the third quarter. They are locked at 7. Lynn Dickey's thrown a 5-yard touchdown pass to Jesse Clark. Tommy Kramer responded with a 14-yard touchdown pass to Mike Jones. And Philadelphia leads St. Louis in another of a game that you could call a surprise, 13-0. They are in the second quarter. Now, Mr. Axhelm, you have struggled watching this game.
Well, I have. You know, I have to mention one thing. You keep saying it's surprising that Cincinnati is so far ahead of the Giants. It was my best bet, the Bengals today.
So it wasn't a
I'm allowed
surprise to
one
you.
little gloat. But am I watching that game? No. Am I watching Pittsburgh and Dallas? No. The masochist that I am, I've chosen to watch the Patriots and the Bills, and it qualifies as my first lethal injection game of the year. If you're on death row and they give you a choice between hanging, a lethal injection, or watching this game, you have to choose between the hanging and the lethal injection.
Peter, you need a rest. You need a rest. Earlier on our pregame show, by the way, Larry King said that the Players Association will sign an agreement for drug testing in Major League Baseball. Donald Fair, the director of the Players Association, denied the story, but he did confirm a few moments ago there has been a proposal from the 26 clubs concerning drug testing, but that no plan is imminent. We still have a half of football to go. Stay with us as our halftime activities continue here on NBC.
5, leading the Patriots 3-0, and it has started to rain again. So an interesting second half in store. We presume, we have not heard about Tony Eason yet. We presume that Steve Grogan will be back in quarterback for the Patriots in the second half, Reggie.
Well, Steve Grogan is the man they've been calling for. Now they've got him. One of the points we have to be cautious of at this point is that if Grogan gets hurt, what happens?
That's right, Stephen Starring. Let's take a look at the last play of the first half. Up to this point, the Patriots had 56 total yards of offense in the entire half. On this one play, they doubled it to Irving Fryer.
New England came into this football game wanting to throw the football deep. Now, this is the first time they were successful with that. I think they'll do more of it in the second half.
The Stanley Morgan pickup. You are not allowed to advance a fumble by a teammate in the last 2 minutes. Right. Now, early in the game, Reggie went on the limb and told you what the keys to the game were. So let's do our report card on Reggie now and see how you did. Here's the keys you said that Buffalo had to face to win this game.
Lenny, for Buffalo, they must run the football and gain at least 4 yards or more a carry on first down so that they can control the time of possession. You know that New England wants to throw the football with their dangerous passing attack, so Buffalo must control the football, and we'll give you an idea of how much they did control it in the first half.
You also said they had to possess the ball for a long period of time. They did that. Now you said the Patriots' keys to win the game.
Patriots had to throw the football on first down and attack the Buffalo secondary deep. I think one of the reasons why they're behind in this football game right now is because they didn't do that successfully enough on first down until the very last play of the half.
And the big story of the first half, the turnovers. The Patriots turned it over 4 times, Buffalo 2. Can they hold on in the second half? We'll find out. This word from the NFL. Reggie, the time of possession would be important. And look, Buffalo has won that war. Maybe that's why they lead at 3-0.
The two most important statistics in the halftime stats are the turnovers, which Buffalo has an advantage on, and also the time of possession. 17 minutes, 22 seconds for the Buffalo Bills and 12:38 for the New England Patriots, which keeps that dangerous passing attack of the New England Patriots off the field.
Only 68 total yards in the first half for the Buffalo Bills. And yet, as the rain now pours in from right to left and the wind kicks up a bit, they do lead at 3-0 as Scott Norwood will try to keep the ball teed up against the elements. Kicking away now to start the second half.
And once you get a lead in a game like this, Lynn, the advantage shifts to the team with that lead. And Buffalo knows that New England will be throwing the football now.
Norwood, good kick to Stephen Starring, and he will down it in the end zone. So Norwood does his job. He had the wind and rain to his back. And now the Patriots come on with Steve Grogan at quarterback. So Tony Eason, and we are still waiting for a report on Eason. He is not able to answer the second half bell, and the veteran Grogan will be at quarterback, his 11th year out of Kansas State.
And I can assure you that Raymond Berry has said this to Steve Grogan. Look, Eason is out. Do not take chances. We cannot afford to lose you in this game.
First down from the 20. He will be passing into the rain and wind. So he hands off to Robert Weathers instead. Maybe they'll try to do it on the ground. He picks up 3. The middle linebackers, Haslett and Marv on the tackle.
You know, someone who we haven't talked much about today, Len, who's doing a fine job in the middle of that Buffalo defensive line is number 76, Fred Smerlas, the All-Pro. He is doing a fabulous job of tying up the New England blocking and shutting down the New England run right in the center of the field.
The report on Tony Eason, and he is on the far side in uniform, a separated shoulder. 2nd and 8 from the 22. Hear the defense yelling pass. Grogan throwing out of bounds. Looking over there for Stanley Morgan. Look who's visiting Grogan. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith doing his job. Sometimes you won't get the sacks because you just won't get there in time. But what's more important as you watch Smith's head slap there on Brian Holloway, the All-Pro, is pressuring. Watch. He makes Grogan get rid of the football a little before he wanted it to, causing a bad pass. See, Grogan can't afford to take those hits, Len, because when you fall like that with a man weighing 280 pounds on your back, that's how you get separated shoulders.
Yeah. Sean McNanny now joins the 4-man front along with Don Smith. 4-man rush front and 6 defensive backs on a shotgun 3rd down passing situation. Grogan throwing into those backs, completing to Cedric Jones to the 43. Jones is a guy who killed the Bills here a year ago. A 21-yard pickup for Cedric Jones.
One of the few times in this ball game that New England has converted a 3rd down situation into a 1st down. And that time they had their 4 wide receiver offense and they caused mismatches across the board. Here it is. There's the blocking. Good pickups. McNanny there being blocked well. This is a good throw, good velocity into this weather. And there's the catch by Cedric Jones on the 1st down.
1st down now for Grogan at his 43. Craig James to the 45, a pickup of 2.
So if you watch Craig James run this football, you can see how tentative he is and his running ability here. They are not sure because the footing is poor. I don't think the offensive linemen can get good starts out of their blocking stance, and therefore this may be a day when you might be able to pass the ball a little bit more effectively than run it.
2nd and 8. So Lynn Dawson, number 87. Maybe he's shaken up a bit. Grogan throwing for Fryer, a completion for another New England 1st down. Irving Fryer watched by Rodney Bellinger, a pickup of 10.
Where is Derek Barrows? He was not in the game on that play. Here's Grogan just with a quick slant. This is a pass pattern that you like to run when a defensive back is playing off of you. As you can see, Bellinger, who is in the game for Barrows, afraid of the speed of Fryer.
Burrows is back in now, watching Fryer on the near side. 1st down at the Buffalo 43. Draw play, Weathers cracks to the 39, and now for the first time this afternoon, the Patriots have something going on offense behind Steve Grogan. We've played 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Oh, the big, powerful offensive line, all pros on the left side, and Brian Holloway 76 and John Hanna 73. You would expect New England to gain control of the line of scrimmage and be able to run the ball and throw it effectively, and this is the first time that we've seen it today.
So 2nd and 6 at the Buffalo 39. Steve Grogan directing the offense for the injured Tony Eason.
Reverse.
Fake reverse. Looking for Craig James. He's got him at the 11, at the 16 rather. something for Patriots fans to cheer about. 23 yards.
The fake reverse, just trying to freeze the people in the secondary, particularly the linebacker. Darryl Talley there covering number 32, Craig James, who happens to be the fastest New England back. He couldn't stay up with him.
First down at the 16. This is the deepest New England penetration. Looking for Fryer.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Patriots. Grogan has done it.
Just a sensational catch. Irving Fryer has been getting better and better each week. Watch the bullet throw by Grogan. Bottom of your screen, a sprawling diving catch by Irving Fryer on the wet turf. Slam dunking the ball. New England has its first touchdown.
And flags are down. The kick is called good. The first sustained drive of any kind is Morgan. And Sims congratulate Fryer for a second receiving touchdown.
The defensive team had 12 men on the field. Will penalize on the kickoff. The point is good. 12
men on the field. Bills did that against the Colts as well. So suddenly the momentum is swung towards the Patriots. 16 yards, Grogan to Fryer. 7-3 Patriots. Steve Grogan was replaced. His quote was, 5 bad quarters and there goes my career. Now a separated left shoulder to Tony Eason. The comeback is underway. Grogan led them 80 yards with the second half kickoff. The Patriots lead. The kickoff is short and out of bounds, so the yards they lost on the 12 men on the field, Buffalo will get back now on the ensuing kickoff.
Special teams people just hate this. I mean, they have a disdain for kickers that kick the ball out of bounds because now they've got to go back, run down again.
One was offside, and we had a kickoff out of bounds. We'll re-kick with a 5-yard penalty.
And normally, if you have a big play on a kick return, it's usually in this situation because you're asking the coverage people to do it over again.
That's what happened last time they met, Reggie.
Is that right?
When Irving Fryer had that 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, it was the second punt. Donald Wilson was downfield too fast the first time around. They had a punt the second time. Boom, just as you said, touchdown. That was the key play. Franklin, who has not missed an extra point or had a kick blocked, is a New England Patriot for 2 years now. We'll tee it up now from the 35.
Franklin just doesn't get the kind of distance that they would like on kickoffs. He kicks the ball short, and it gives the return man an advantage.
And he still doesn't reach the end zone at the 5. Richardson. Eric Richardson gets a good return to the 36. He is finally dragged down by Fred Marion. We have an update coming your way. Let's go to Bill McAtee.
All right, Lynn, the Browns have struck early in the third quarter against Houston. Bernie Kosar has thrown his first NFL touchdown. Here it is to Clarence Weathers. The play covers 68 yards. It is now 7-6. Cleveland leads for the first time.
And here, Bill, Clarence's brother Robert's team, the New England Patriots, lead for the first time. 7-3. The Bills will start at their 35. First and 10. Ferragamo, struggle in that first half, hopes to turn it around with Norris in motion. Pressure from Sims, completion to Bell to the 40 for a 5-yard pickup before Johnny Rembert brought him down, number 52.
Remember, we told you about the keys to the game for the Buffalo Bills. They want to run the football, control time of possession, and pick up 4 or 5 yards on first down. Here's the blocking up front. Vogler, Richer. Well, I tell you, Ken Sims was pushed from behind by Joe Devlin. Wonder that play wasn't called.
One was called earlier. 2nd and 5 at the 40 for the Buffalo Bills. Here comes Rembert. Got it off to Bell. Bell's got a first down and more. Finally run out by Fred Marion close to midfield. So suddenly the Bills offense responds to the Patriots thrust, and Ferragamo and Bell combine on 2 quick plays.
And it was a good read by Vince Ferragamo because he recognized the blitz, he got rid of the football in time, and he really made something out of nothing, and another fine effort by Greg Bell to pick up yardage on that play.
So the Bills are out to their 49. We've already seen more offense in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter than we saw in the entire first half. And we haven't had a turnover yet. Stumbles. That'll go as a sack. Steve Nelson grabs Ferragamo's shirt for good measure. The 4th Buffalo sack.
They have so many changes going on in the offensive line. Sometimes when that happens, a quarterback will trip over one of his offensive lineman's foot or something. Let's see if we can detect something going on here.
I don't know.
No, he just crosses his feet. He trips over the yard marker there, as we used to say.
Old yard marker jumped up and bit him, huh? Call this a 2nd and 16 from the 40. You have to look out for that yard marker. Draw play. Bell heads out to the outside. Good run by Bell. Gets into Patriot territory at the 49 before Tippett and Nelson drag him down. So 3rd and 8 or so.
We really haven't heard as much from Andre Tippett today as we thought we would hear, which might indicate that the Buffalo Bills are doing an excellent job of blocking him and keeping him away from the quarterback.
There's Andre, black belt in karate, teaches his teammates karate as well.
He's on the USA karate team.
3rd and 9 at midfield. The Bills need the Patriots 41. He has the time. Threw it into traffic, and Roland James had it. For a second, it was intended for Andre Reed, as James and Lippett combined to stop that play.
In the first half, but he had a good spiral, good tight spiral, good velocity. But Ken Sims, number 77, coming on the left side, forces him to really throw this ball a little sooner than he wanted to. And Roland James had an outstanding opportunity to get the ball back.
6th punt of John Kidd, high punt, and a fair catch at the 10 is called by Fryer.
That takes a lot of nerve, Lenny, to catch a ball and that's these kinds of conditions and with your hands.
Well, the flag is down. Let's see if this repeats what happened 3 weeks ago.
Defense.
That's unforgivable there. 12 men on the field. You just can't have that if you're looking to win a division in the National Football League.
Well, I think they might decline this. Pin the Patriots back to the 10. 5 yards would help the Buffalo Bills very much here. Hank Bulla.
12 men in the field and a defense, penalties refused.
That's the call from Hank Bulla. He declines it, so the Patriots will start at their 10. Their last drive was an 80-yard success. 8:48 remaining third quarter. Grogan comes back with the lead. Hank Bulla, after last week's demolition derby, said if we knew it was going to be like this, he wouldn't have shown up, forfeited, taken a fine, rather than have played like that. He says there's nowhere to go but up. Here's Tutupu, and he has nowhere to go but for a first down. 10-yard pickup. Tutupu. And he has a fan club here. They sell T-shirts and other paraphernalia and donate the money to charity.
And when you're in doubt, run behind Hannah and Holloway on the left side. That's what they're doing.
Well, they tried it last week on 4th down in the critical situation. Tutupu was stopped. This time he went for 10. First down at the 20. Tutupu again. This time he picks up 4, maybe 5. Eugene Marv is on top of him, number 54.
Maybe Mosi is the ideal runner on this kind of field. He's a flat-footed runner. He runs very low. He's not very flamboyant in his style, and therefore he is less likely to slip and fall and do things that would cause him not to gain yardage.
Hey, list him at 6 foot. He looks smaller than that.
They have a huge offensive line down there, though. Brian Holloway, for example, is 6 feet 7 inches tall.
So 2nd and 6 at the 24. 7:35 remains in the 3rd quarter. The Patriots lead 7-3. Their offense has clicked here in the 2nd half behind Steve Grogan. To Tupu a 3rd time. And another first down.
In the first half, they were giving the ball to Collins and James, and they were running outside. They were slipping and they were falling down, and they didn't have the good footwork. Now, look, this is very simple football. Run the football straight ahead. Look at the good block by Brian Holloway blocking in there.
You're right. Maybe he's the kind of runner for these conditions. 3 straight rushes, a total of 24 yards. The Patriots have it. First down at their 33. This time it's Collins. Big hole for Collins, and a flag is down as Tony gets to the 44. This may come back, though, after a pickup of 11. Maybe a hold.
87 offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, we'll replay the down.
Lynn Dawson, the tight end. They don't throw to the tight ends much here, not like the days when Russ Francis played at that position. Tight end mainly blocks, and that time a hold was detected.
Let's see if we can't detect the hold. There it is, 87. Lynn Dawson right there has his hand in a lot of jersey. The interesting thing about the strategy here is run the ball up the middle, run it up the middle, and then run outside, and you saw there was a running lane outside.
So this will be costly. Yet another penalty that hurts. Instead of first down at the 44, it's 1st and 20 at the 23. Wide open, Stanley Morgan. That got him where the last run did. Same spot, 44-yard line. Pickup of 19.
One of the reasons that's happening is because Martin Bayless, the safety, is supposed to be double teaming on that wide receiver, but he is not getting over there in time. Watch Bayless, 43. See, he's arriving too late, and 29 Burrows can't cover both short and deep. That's Bayless's responsibility.
Long pickup, first down. The Patriots are moving. First down at their 44. They overcome that penalty. Fryer.
Oh, wow.
Lost it. Was it a reception? No. Ruled incomplete. He had 2 shots at it. I thought he grabbed it the 2nd time, but couldn't hang on.
On that kind of pattern, Lynn, that kind of throw is the receiver's best friend because you want that ball low so that you can catch it and get down out of the way of that hit that's coming right at you.
Dallas leading Pittsburgh in the 3rd quarter. Second down at the 44. We'll show you some more scores in a few moments. Steve Grogan has to be happy with his performance here in the 2nd half. I'm sure his fans are, who called for him as well. Collins near midfield. Pick up about 5.
The game looks so much more artistic. There's Denver Indianapolis.
Leading Indianapolis 9-3. Giants, they trail 21-0. Now they're back within 11 of the Cincinnati Bengals. Tampa Bay, that's a shocker. Rams are undefeated. Tampa Bay's winless. Houston continues to lead Cleveland. This is 3rd and 4 at midfield. Flag is down. He's open. A good defensive play turned in by Charles Romes as Grogan had his man. Stanley Morgan says, hey, that was a nice play you made.
Charles Romes has played forever without publicity, without recognition. He is an outstanding cornerback and recovers well. Look at that play by Charles Romes.
Motion, number 67 offense, penalties refused, 4th down.
was motion anyway, but how often do you see a wide receiver come back and tell the cornerback, you just made a great play?
We call that recovery speed, and Charles Romes really does that very well. Once he's beaten, to get back and make a great play.
That is as pretty as a defensive cornerback play as you will see. Morgan had 2 steps on him. Romes came back on a flying play to tip it away. And now Rich Camarillo will punt away to Donald Wilson.
And Donald Wilson is a good return man.
Good kick into the wind. Fair catch called by Wilson, and he takes it at the 11. So with 5:43 remaining in the third quarter, the Bills get it back, trailing by 4. Camarillo does his job. The Buffalo Bills start at their 11. First down. Greg Bell has been their offense, and he picks up perhaps 3 to the 14 before Tippett stops him.
I don't know what the percentage of handling the ball Greg Bell is,
Must
but
be high, huh?
he handles the ball so much that it's very easy to defend a team that's giving the ball to one man so much. They need to get some of the other players involved in their offense. Andre Reed is a terrific athlete. He has breakaway ability. They have Jerry Butler on the football field. They need to get the football to some other players.
Kenneth Sims heads out. He's replaced by Julius Adams. 2nd and 8 of the 13. Ferragamo passing to Bell. Once again, there's that man. If you watch Bell, you're watching their offense. Out to the 25. First down, Buffalo. Johnny Rembert over there. Well, if Joe Cribbs is ready next week, and he's in street clothes today, if he can play, that will be one of the more exciting backfields in the National Football League. Bell and Cribbs. Now, Cribbs was running earlier today in sweats. The team doctor told me didn't have the stamina, had trouble running a little bit, so he'll need to work up his shape for next week if he hopes to play against the Colts in Buffalo. Bell again. Bell getting tired, maybe? 6-yard gain. All right, let's check in with Bill McAtee for another update at NFL 85.
All right, Lenny, moments ago, Tony Dorsett joined a select group of players to rush for 10,000 yards in a career. This is the play. It covers 22 yards, easily more than Tony had in the entire first half. He is the 6th player now to go over 10,000 yards. That set up a Raphael Septien field goal. There's the score.
I wonder if the fact that Bill McAtee's from Texas is why he keeps showing us these Dallas highlights. I don't know.
Congratulations, Tony Dorsett.
And Greg Bell, he may get 10,000 in his career the way he's going. Another first down. Every play in the series to Greg Bell. He's to the 36. Fred Marion on the stop.
Used to be an old adage among head football coaches around the National Football League that when in trouble, think players and not plays. And since Greg Bell is the best player on this football team, maybe it's the right thing to do as far as Hank Buller is concerned. Just give him the football.
How about a play-action fake right now to Greg Bell, or a pass from Greg Bell, something to use him as a decoy?
Would you like to be an offensive coordinator?
No.
Oh.
Play-action fake to Bell. Over the middle to Bell. I mean, you know, this is easy to spot. We hire some very expensive spotters in the booth. We don't need them today. Number 28, Buffalo, up to the 45. And Vince's stats, not too swift this afternoon. 7 of 22, 72 yards. 1 interception, should have an asterisk. He's could very easily have 5 or 6 interceptions. They've been dropped by the Patriots defenders.
It's like pulling teeth without an anesthesia. It's very, very painful, but they're moving the football.
2nd and 4. And you know who carries probably for a first down.
Has anyone else
on top of him is Nelson. No,
excuse me, Lenny. Has anyone else touched the football on this drive?
He's Ferragamo in the center. That's it. How many plays? Bell straight, 6 or 7 straight plays.
Greg Bell's probably saying, Joe Cribbs, where are you, partner?
He's over on the sideline watching. We'll get his shot. First down, 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Buffalo out to the 47. This drive began at the 11. It's been all Greg Bell. Not this time. Ulysses Norris, the tight end, his first reception inside the 40. Still no official signal. And finally,
Now you see why they didn't want to give the ball to anyone else.
So finally, someone other than Bell touches it, and he fumbles. The Patriots get it back. After 2 years in the USFL, Joe Cribbs, with over 4,000 NFL rushing yards, hopes to make it back next week. First down for the Patriots at their 35. Fryer in motion. Ooh, what a hit! Guy Frazier put a stick on Craig James in the backfield. The Buffalo defense rising here. A 3-yard loss. Good play by Frazier, who switched positions this week.
Mamas, don't let your kids grow up to be running backs in the National Football League, because you'll get hit like that, and that hurts on a day that's cold as it is today.
2nd and 13 at the 32. You're just joining us, Tony Eason, dislocated left shoulder. Steve Brogan backing at quarterback for New England. Fryer's open. Flag is down. As Fryer's at midfield, this may come back for a hold as well. Under the category of coaching gray hair.
67 offense, holding, be a 10-yard penalty, replay the down, 67.
Mother, don't let your boys grow up to be head coaches. Their hair will turn on statistics that read 7 turnovers, 8 sacks, and 17 penalties, and we are still in the 3rd quarter. That's for both teams combined.
Steve Moore on the left side of your screen, number 67, gets flagged for this one. Illegal use of the hands, which is holding or whatever it is that they do, that's illegal. He was caught that time.
And now Grogan faces 2nd and 23 from the 22.
Stanley Morgan is all alone.
So's Craig James to the 35. No flag is down, but far short of a first down. They need the 44, a pickup of 13. Eugene Marv covering.
And I think this is excellent to see a guy like Steve Grogan come in and play this kind of football. You know, they have relief pitchers in baseball. Why not have him in football? It works. Watch 14.
Good
looking
mobility.
around.
Yeah.
That's right. That's one of his assets, being able to move and throw on the run. Craig James, comfortable right there on the sideline, picks up a spot. Eugene Marv with the hit.
Grogan now facing 3rd and 10. 6 defensive backs in for the Bills. 4-man front. Let's see if they get a rush on Grogan out of the shotgun.
They're looking like they're blitzing.
Plenty of time. Coming back for the ball is Stanley Morgan, but did he come back a bit too far? Let's see where they place it. Maybe shy of the first down. And the crowd, if he is short, wants him to go for it.
I believe I have to go for this if I were Raymond Berry at this point.
You used to say that as a player all the time. However, the Patriots are going to punt it away with a 4-point lead.
I tell you, it's barely the length of a football required for the first down.
I'll never forget entering the Patriots locker room in the mid-70s and interviewing a Patriots receiver by the name of Reggie Rucker, who said they should have gone for it. We shouldn't have kicked. We should have gone for it. Reggie was always outspoken. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Patriots 7, Bills 3. We'll be back to Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough after these words from your local station. Patriots should go for it on 4th and short, but Raymond Berry is Mr. Conservative.
And I don't have to answer to Billy Sullivan, the Patriots owner.
That's right. May not be owner for that long. There's talk he'd like to sell the club, and several people have expressed interest. Camarillo, beautiful punt, but he does not get the corner if indeed he was aiming for it. It is a touchback. Vince Ferragamo and Buffalo will start at the 20 as we start the 4th quarter in Foxborough.
And I wonder if because of the fumble by Ulysses Norris on the last possession, he'll become even that much more concerned with someone else handling the ball than Greg Bell.
Buffalo with just 136 total yards, just 63 yards rushing. They are last in the NFL in that category. And even though they gained more yardage than New England when they lost 3 weeks ago, now the Patriots have the edge this time around. I was going to say that if you hand the ball to Bell, it becomes the Gong Show, but the guys in the booth said I shouldn't use that line.
And you did.
Ferragamo not looking for Bell. For Burkett, a flag is down. Interference will go against Ronnie Lippett. A big first down for Buffalo, if indeed it's against the defense, which I believe it is.
Interference defense, number 42, first down for the spot of the foul.
Second time today against Ronnie Lippett. The question is, why? He appeared to have excellent position. Third time today for Ronnie Lippett.
So that amounts to a 28-yard penalty. We've had a flag festival, 18 so far. Still a full quarter to go. Here's Greg Bell, tripped up in the backfield, struggles ahead for a few yards, but the rookie from Stanford, Garen Varys, got in the backfield quickly. All right, let's check out NFL 85. Maybe Bill McAtee has another Dallas highlight.
You got it, Lenny. The Cowboys have just added to their lead against Pittsburgh. Eugene Lockhart will step in front of the David Woodley pass. Woodley had replaced Mark Malone, and the middle linebacker goes 19 yards for the touchdown. Just into the fourth quarter, it is 20-3 Dallas.
Hank Buller, always known for making adjustments during the game, making one now.
Well, those Cowboys putting on a show down in Texas. Ferragamo had his man, just couldn't connect with Pete Metzelars, the former Seattle Seahawk. And this will be second down. Here comes Metzelars from Wabash College.
He is 6 feet 8 inches tall and still holds a lot of NCAA small college records in basketball.
Hoopster. Some small college players here. Of course, the rookie Andre Reed from Kutztown State, Pennsylvania, and Wabash. You do not have to always go to Nebraska or Auburn or TCU or Scott Norwoods from James Madison.
If you go to those schools, you're likely to get more money.
Before or after? Ferragamo throwing nowhere, overthrowing Ulysses Norris, who was watched by Ronnie Lippett on the near side. Ferragamo just shaking his head, as it's the only gain he had in that little series was the pass interference call against Lippett. So now Kidd will punt yet.
The Bills have had an inordinate number of opportunities to score points in this football game and to get field position, but every time they have gotten a break, they have not been able to capitalize.
John Kidd will now punt for a 7th time. He's earning his keep today. He's from Northwestern. Fryer again takes it with some daylight. Second time he's done that. So a 38-yard punt, no return. John Kidd does his job. Patriots get the ball back. Foliage weekend in New England. 13:50 remaining in the regulation time to Stanley Morgan. Morgan to the 30 and loses his helmet as well. 17-yard pickup. The rain is misting, a slight wind to the back of Steve Grogan and the Patriots. And I was mentioning the leaves turning colors, but during this football game, just about the only thing falling are penalty flags and loose balls and interceptions. We've had lots of those, but
and
one long drive. And the temperature, it's in the mid-40s, Reg. First down at the 30 now. Patriots lead at 7-3. Grogan to Tupu. It's the Patriot offense of old, engineered by the old man, Steve Grogan.
There may be some things that Steve Grogan lacks at this point in his football career, but the one thing he has is the experience that's necessary in a football game like this. The Bills got caught in a blitz that time, and Grogan got rid of the football very quickly. Now watch, coming from both sides, the blitz. And there's Mosi Tupu right in position to catch the ball and take it down the sideline.
It's funny to call a 32-year-old player an old man, but many felt with Eason taking over, we'd seen the last of Steve Grogan. Grogan has other ideas as his backfield mates do a tango. Irving Fryer! I thought the ball was overthrown. Maybe he was going to Fryer in the first place. It looked like he was going to Tony Collins.
I thought he was going to the short receiver.
That's right, but Fryer's Flyers are happy.
The one thing you don't do is jump up in the air and leave your legs behind you. When you reach for a pass like this, you have to bring your legs up so that you don't take this kind of hit.
Who's he going to?
I believe he's going to Tony Collins, but Fryer was in a propitious position.
Well, He was in a good position as well. First down at the 35. Fryer in motion. Here come Grogan and the Patriots again. The pitch back to Tony Collins. And dragged down by Martin Bayless coming up from his free safety position.
That play doesn't happen too often, you know? Throwing to one guy and another one catches the football.
All right, let's run down all the scores now, Reggie. Lots of action in the early games in the National Football League this afternoon. As Bill McAtee told us, Dallas over Pittsburgh, 20-6 now. Denver missed an extra point. That's not 4 field goals. 12-3 over Indianapolis. It's become a game. Cincinnati had led 21-0. They lead the Giants 28-20. This is 2nd and 8 at the 33 for Grogan.
All alone.
Collins open, short of a first down. Bayless on the tackle. This will set up 3rd and short. 10.5 minutes remain in regulation time. The Patriots with the ball and a 7-3 lead.
It's a gain of 5 yards on the play. That makes it 3rd down. And 3 yards to go.
The interesting aspect here is that since Grogan's the man who signal plays to Eason, there's nobody left to signal Grogan. He is calling his own plays.
And calling a fine game. Maybe he's calling a better game in the second half than the coach has called in the first half.
Good point, Reggie. 3rd and 3. The crowd comes to life. Showing his mobility. Ooh, a hit, an interference call, and it goes against Freeman.
That's the worst place to take a Rydell helmet, is in the back, standing straight up.
Interference offense, number 33.
It went the other way.
It had to happen before the ball was thrown at some point. Had to.
I saw Freeman acting frustrated. He thought it was against him. It goes against the offense.
Left side of the screen. Let's see if we can see it pushing off by the receiver.
Ooh.
Well, look, you can't throw a block downfield.
That was the call to the right of your screen.
That's it. You cannot throw a block on a pass play before the ball leaves the passer's hand.
They're booing, but the crowd did not see what our replay showed us. It was not where the ball was intended. It was away from the ball. Tony Collins threw the block, I believe, on Burrows.
Here it is once again, left side of the screen. Watch it right about here. You'll see a block. That's illegal. You cannot throw a block on a man downfield before the ball's left the passer's hand.
Grogan from the shotgun. Now it's 3rd and 13 at the 38. Throwing for Cedric Jones. Incomplete on the far side with Rod Hill covering.
Someone ran the wrong pattern. There were 2 receivers in the flight path of the football, and that means somebody had a man over there that shouldn't have been there.
So as the result of yet another costly penalty for the Patriots, this sets up 4th down for Raymond Berry's team. And Camarillo will come on. If they had tried a field goal, it would have been a 55-yard attempt with a slight trailing wind. It was impossible for Tony Franklin, but instead they opt to punt. Camarillo goes for the corner. Beautifully gets it. The official keeps walking up. He's going to mark it between the 8 and 9 yard lines. So Buffalo will be pinned inside the 10. 9:39 remaining in the 4th quarter. Buffalo's ball down 4. Well, last year, Reggie, here in Foxborough, the Patriots beat the Bills 38-10. Buffalo went 0-11 at the time, and I speculated they wouldn't win a game all year. Well, it took about 6 days. They went home and beat the Dallas Cowboys at home for their first win last year.
On a big play by this man.
Greg Bell on the opening play went 85 yards. This time he will not go down. Picks up 5-6 yards before Fred Marion drags him down.
That's the thing about Bell that belies his size and speed abilities. He's very strong from tackle to tackle.
Well, if they give it to Bell, 13 or 14 straight times they can use the 9 minutes and maybe score. But that seems to be their only hope the way the offense is going. They don't have too many other big plays.
Well, it's easier just to turn around and hand in the ball because they can't throw it.
2nd and 2 at the 17. Norris in motion. There's Bell. Gets away from trouble. Fine move by Greg Bell for a first down. The play will only go as a 3 or 4 yard pickup, but he did some yeoman work to get it.
Out of Columbus, Ohio, and Notre Dame. The first Notre Dame runner ever to gain 1,000 yards in his rookie year. He is just an extraordinary player. He has very good feet, good vision, as you see him cutting back and darting back. And then, as I said before, he's such a strong player.
Bills fans said it was a mistake when Buffalo chose him as the #1 pick last year. They're not saying that anymore. First down Buffalo at their 22. Intercepted.
Claiborne.
Touchdown, Raymond Claiborne.
He is the touchdown maker on this defense. They weren't throwing in his area, so he said, hey, I got to go over here and get a ball and pick it off to make a big play defensively. He has been doing this week after week after week for the New England Patriots. He did it last week, stepped out of bounds. This time, he gets the touchdown.
Today, a club record 111th consecutive start, caps it off with an interception for a touchdown. And the Patriots try to make it 14-3 with a Tony Franklin kick. Number 26 returned to 26 yards. And Franklin's extra point attempt is good. So the big defensive play, they've done it week in, week out. A big uphill road for Hank Bulla, the Patriots by 11. They are not the bad news Bears, but today it's been the bad news Bills and Patriots. 8 turnovers, 8 sacks, 18 penalties. Raymond Claiborne, the man on the turnover for the touchdown. The kickoff to Donald Wilson. Can the Bills come back? Wilson breaks it out to the 33. Now for an update. One more time. Let's go to Bill McAtee, NFL 85.
All right, Lynn, the Browns have come roaring back in the second half against Houston as Cleveland has scored again. Bernie Kosar has settled in. Here's the play that set up the latest touchdown. Kosar to Clarence Weathers. Weathers covers 57 yards. This sets up Ernest Biner's 5-yard touchdown run. 21-6 Cleveland.
So
Clarence
the Browns,
who's having a big day.
They beat the Patriots last week, trying to do it to Houston now. First down for Buffalo at the 33. 8 minutes remain. There it is to Jerry Butler. I think it's the first time he's hit Butler today. Lippett covering.
If you're going to throw the ball to the outside, that's the way you have to throw it. You've got to put the ball out there with some velocity and with some zip on it. Now, the pass that he threw a few plays back that Claiborne picked off and ran in for a touchdown was a slowly thrown football.
Ferragamo, you saw, was checking out his wrist, looking for a play. That was the first completion to Jerry Butler. First down now at the 45. They'll need a few more. In trouble, the pressure. Ferragamo went down. So did his receiver. Varys was pressuring him, as was Kenneth Sims.
With no disrespect.
For Raymond Claiborne, the play before that may have broken this game over. 23 career interceptions, but his first career touchdown for the 9-year veteran out of Texas, Raymond Claiborne.
Came into the league with 9.4 speed and a 100-yard dash. Very quick cornerback.
Second and 10 at the 45. Bills need a big play. Draw play, Greg Bell. They smelled that one out. Steve Nelson, the veteran from North Dakota State, was the man who stopped him.
The point I was going to make, Lynn, a few minutes ago was that, with no disrespect to Vince Ferragamo, because he has his problems and the entire Buffalo Bills offense has been having problems all year long, but I think the future of the Buffalo Bills and their quarterback situation has to lie in the future of Jim Kelly, who is now playing in the USFL. They've gotten Cribbs out of that league. I think their next priority is to get Jim Kelly at quarterback.
They deny there have been any discussions, despite the fact that discussions have been rumored. Shotgun, 3rd and 11. So receiver went down. It was intended for Jerry Butler. He might have slipped. Looking around for a flag. There is none. Jerry Butler, who has caught just one pass today. Let's see if we can pick it out. He's
Look at the close contact and the close coverage of Raymond Claiborne.
But the rule this year, if you're both looking at the ball, no flag.
And they both were looking back.
Ferragamo today just 10 of 29. 100 yards, 2 interceptions. He is the last rated quarterback in the AFC, and those stats will not improve. John Kidd to punt yet again to Irving Fryer. High kick. This time Fryer in traffic catches it. 2 times when he was wide open, he called for a fair catch. So, Buffalo special teams. And John Kidd, a 40-yard punt. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the NFL is prohibited. 6:53 left in the 4th quarter. The Patriots lead 14-3. Each week, a big touchdown turned in by the defense. The offense still 1 touchdown per game over the last 5. First down at the 17. Craig James eludes Bruce Smith. Let's see, were they untangled? Smith came back, made the play. Jesse James is his real name, if you can believe that. They have a fan club for him, the James Gang, appropriately enough.
And of course, right now, the opponent of the New England Patriots is no longer the Buffalo Bills, but the clock.
2nd and 8 at the 19. He has time. He has Craig James, but short of a first down at the 26. The clock continues to run. 6 minutes left.
Of course, Craig James from SMU in that pony backfield with Eric Dickerson. There's a player down. It's Guy Frazier.
Jim Haslett was also slow getting up. Frazier just rolled over onto his stomach.
There are a lot of things that run through your mind during a time like that.
Cincinnati has stretched open their lead again. 35-20. Tampa Bay trying to do it. They are also 0-5, trying to beat undefeated Los Angeles. Cleveland 21-6 on that Ernest Minor run that we showed you a short while ago. John Riggins, 3 touchdown runs. The Redskins are now back to 500 as they defeated the Lions. Lions also to 500. Minnesota, another close football game. Bud Grant last week decided to run for it on 4th down and lost the game. Philadelphia, big over St. Louis. That's a mild surprise. Philadelphia started the day 1-4. St. Louis was 3-2, and now Frazier comes off. Steve Grogan has statistics today that remind you of the good old days for the Patriots in the mid-70s. He has 13 for 17, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, including that long 80-yard drive to start off the 3rd quarter when Tony Eason went down with the shoulder separation late in the first half. 3rd down and short. Greg Hawthorne in motion. There's their short down yardage man. Tupu fights out to the 35.
Okay, this has really been one of the key plays to the offense in the second half. It's been the charges of mostly Tupu straight ahead and a good drive blocking by the entire New England Patriots offensive line. That's Brock, Hanna, Wooten, Holloway, and Moore.
First down at the 35, inside of 5 minutes now. Weathers and James now the back. All that business about who would start in the backfield Raymond Berry's used all 4 of them. And Hawthorne to make 5 at times. Over the middle. Good touch pass to Irving Fryar. Another Patriots first down, and it was the soft touch of Steve Grogan that time, not hurrying it, a 22-yard pickup.
We're seeing the coming of age of a very talented football player, Irving Fryar. The very first pick in all of the draft a couple of years ago. Look at the good touch as Lynn Berman described to you. Puts the ball in there softly, and Irving Fryar is beginning to wake up.
I thought you were going to say the coming of age of 32-year-old Steve Grogan. When Tony Eason gets healthy, there will be a quarterback controversy in New England, I guarantee you. First down at the 43 of Buffalo. Weathers to the 40, maybe the 39 before Eugene Marr. More importantly for New England, all the way down to 3:42 left in the 4th quarter. Buffalo had their first halftime lead of the year, 3-0 at halftime. Too bad it didn't get rained out for the Bills at that point. The Patriots have owned the second half.
This has been like the big kid on the block toying with the little kid on the block for a couple of days and then finally saying, hey kid, I'm going to squash you in one blow.
Second down and 5 at the 39. Weathers, the Sanford flew by. Bellinger misses a tackle. Finally brought down by Martin Bayless, short of a first down. But he stayed in bounds, and the clock rolls with 2:56 remaining.
Robert Weathers is the brother of Clarence Weathers, who's having a fantastic day down in Houston.
Right.
Formerly played for the New England Patriots.
That's a 4-yard gain. Makes it 3rd down, 2
So this will be 3rd down and 2 for the Patriots at their Buffalo 35.
You call it, Lynn.
Go straight ahead and keep it simple and let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning.
Tutupu isn't in the game, by the way.
Give it to Weathers now. No, fake to Weathers and throw it. And completed to Craig James inside the 10. The ball is down. Patriots have it at the Buffalo 9. The 2-minute warning, a 27-yard pickup. It's been a second half to remember for Steve Grogan and the Patriots. 2 minutes left in regulation. The Patriots lead by 11, knocking on the door. There's a double fake on this play. Play action to Weathers, the fake reverse to Irving Fryar, and then the pass out to Craig James.
Here's what's good about this. One, professional teams don't run enough plays that they're successful with. It's good. Raymond Berry comes back with a play that he was successful with earlier. There's Grogan with the fake and throws the ball nicely to James, and Talley just can't keep up with James. He's not fast enough.
And ruled down before the ball popped loose. Craig James limped off. Derek Burrows on the near side is limping off, the talented rookie cornerback who had a fine first half as well as an interception for the Buffalo Bills.
And you know what, Lynn? The game plan of the New England Patriots was to throw the football on first down and throw it deep. They didn't make that game plan work until Steve Grogan came into the football.
They've completed 15 passes to their wide receivers today. That must be a New England mark for the year. And Irving Fryar, his first career 100-yard game, 6 passes, 132 yards. Steve Grogan, I remember when he came in as a youngster here, it was the trade of Plunkett that gave Grogan his chance and was a good scrambling young quarterback, helped mold those teams of the early 70s. Now he's getting his chance again as a 32-year-old old-timer with the injury to Tony Eason. From 9, Tony Collins, maybe a yard. Martin Bayless on the tackle.
Well, the Bills should start calling timeout at this point.
Maybe they realize their predicament. They're letting it run. 1:45 to go. Buffalo Bills staring at their 6th consecutive loss. Raymond Berry staring at a .500 record, 3-3, an additional 4-4 last year. after replacing the fired Ron Meyer.
Second down, goal to
Buffalo
go.
didn't win in the preseason either. They were 0-3-1, so they're staring at a long dry spell
With less than 2 minutes
and a
remaining,
particularly long
the
spell on the road. This will be their 12th consecutive road loss dating back to December of '83 in Kansas City. No timeout called, a Buffalo loss. To Tupu, second chance to the 3. Clock still running inside of a minute. They're just giving it to him, Reg.
I don't think that's something that Hank Bulla, as he becomes acclimated and accustomed to the way the game is running in the National Football League, he will start calling timeout here, because you never simply just give up and say, hey, run the clock out. You call timeout and you battle until the game is over.
And strange things happen.
That's right. A ball could fall on the ground, one guy could pick it up and run all the way for a touchdown.
29 seconds to go. Patriots hope to close it out with a score. Mosi to Tupu. Doesn't do it
See,
for them.
there's a ball on the ground. Oh! that's
it.
the why. That's
Tony
why.
Collins saves it, and the clock continues to run. 10 seconds to go.
Now he's trying to call timeout. Amazing.
And timeout is taken with just 8 seconds remaining. Steve
Amazing.
Grogan and an 11-point lead.
The Patriots in the New York
A
Jets.
tale of two quarterbacks. A long afternoon for Vince Ferragamo once again. For Steve Grogan, 308 total yards, and they will kick a field goal. Why, Reg?
Tiebreakers, when this thing comes down to the end of the season, tiebreakers may be the difference between one team making the playoff and another. They miss it.
And Tony Franklin misses the chip shot. And maybe fairness dictates, with 4 seconds remaining, that the Patriots do not tag on 3 more points.
This has been such a bizarre football game.
Franklin, a very dependable field goal kicker, just one miss, and that a 47-yarder a week ago. And Grogan, the new holder instead of Tony Eason, maybe that's the reason why. The only blemish on Grogan's record this afternoon, and he's patted on the back nonetheless by the Patriot coaching staff. So Buffalo will have one play, and unless they have a 12-pointer up their sleeves, it will be 0-6.
The Big Ben play.
And it's pulled down by Andre Reed out of bounds, and that is it. So the New England Patriots defeat the Buffalo Bills 14-3. Steve Grogan, the story. Tony Eason injured. The old veteran come back. He does it. 308 yards for Steve Grogan, but a rugged afternoon for Vince Ferragamo. For Reggie Rucker, I'm Len Berman. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now, let's go to Dallas, and we'll show you the conclusion of the Steelers-Cowboys game. So long, everyone.